Well, my calculations, that'll be the lovely Rita on the other end. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, very good actually. I was just looking out of the Fresh Gold Towers and had to close the blinds again. My goodness me. Are you a little warm where you are? Or are you luxury in air conditioned?
Definitely not air conditioned. I mean, I have a fan that's been going non-stop for the last few days. But look, it's beautiful weather. The sun's out. We have, I think, a habit in this country to moan when it's cold and moan when it's hot. So I'm just going to take it as it comes and be happy that we've got some sunshine.
Well, I've always found that a lot of people, like you say, they moan when it's cold, they moan when it's raining, they moan when it's hot. And I think if we're too hot, we put the aircon on or a fan on. If we're too cold, we put the heating on. If we're too wet, So there's always an issue where that's concerned. But it is, as you say, what it is.
Exactly. It's gorgeous. So, I think apparently it's supposed to be hottest day on record. How many times have we had that? So this Sunday is the hottest day on record. I'm pretty sure every year we have a something on record.
Yeah.
But yeah, so looking forward to that and seeing if we really reach the 40 degrees that my husband assures me is going to happen. I'm not sure about that. 40 degrees in this country seems a bit extreme.
Yeah, it does a little bit, to be perfectly honest. But there you go. Did have to do with it. He'll be sitting in the car with the aircon going flat out, knowing him. Anyway, listen. What have we got this week? What illustrious subject have you chosen this week, please?
So I wanted to talk to everyone about how an emotional weight, an emotional baggage, an emotional strain of however you want to describe it, how that actually can manifest quite significantly in our physical bodies. So, most people, if they feel that they need to lose a bit of weight or get a bit fitter, obviously the first sort of port of call is, right, eat less, move more. That tends to be, where we go. Scientifically, that makes sense. But what most people fail to recognize is what emotional internal weight caused the physical manifestation. So, nobody tends to. I don't believe anybody is lazy. I don't believe that's a thing. So many people, oh, I'm just being lazy. No, you're not. Nobody I know is truly lazy. If you actually want something, most people, if they really want something, even if it's illegal, will put in quite a lot of effort to do it, right?
Well, we won't mention illegal.
But people do things and put in effort if they really put their mind to it. I don't believe lazy is a thing. So why do people get to the stage where they're X amount overweight? Well, a lot of it comes from the emotional weight that they're not dealing with, and that will manifest itself in one way or another, whether it's in ill health, overweight, inactivity. It tends to come from an emotional source, and most people never deal with that, which is why they get stuck in these cycles. So they'll sort of, I don't know, lose a bit of weight or get a bit fit for a certain amount of time, but it won't last because the emotional identity behind it never changed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I suppose we all carry something with us. We all carry with us some of our past, and we all carry something way back in the back of our minds and stuff. And some are more emotional and emotive than others. And do you think then, if saying that, it demonstrates itself in people in different ways? Some people could become reclusive, can't they, and then not deal with their emotional stress. Some people become loud and in your face to get it out of the system, and some people eat, maybe. Would that be fair?
Yeah, so you think about some people, binge eating. So many people say I'm an emotional eater. Well, what does that mean? It's a very bandied about phrase, being an emotional eater, but what does it actually mean? Well, when I'm emotional in some description, I eat. Okay, why? Why do you eat when you're sad? Why do you eat when you're happy? Why do you eat when you're stressed? It's because when we eat, we have an instant gratification which distracts us from the emotion. So if I feel really stressed or really sad and I go and find, I don't know, a Domino's pizza or a family pack of Celebrations or something, and I'm eating it, it's giving me constant dopamine hits, sort of the happy chemical. It's giving me those constant hits, and it's giving me an activity, both of which combine to completely distract me from the feeling. The feeling hasn't gone away. I'm not less stressed. I'm not less sad. It's just that for that period,
you're not so focused on it.
Yeah, you're not focused on it, and you create a distraction. So the only way that will stop is, rather than just saying, well, I must stop eating rubbish, it's about saying, okay, what is the emotion that I'm trying to distract myself from? Where's the emotions? Where is it coming from? What's the root cause of the emotion, and how do I tackle that? Most people just try and tackle the eating rather than the reason behind it. So if you can trace it back and say, right, every time I have to deal with this particular person at work, I get highly stressed, and I go to the vending machine and I get 3 chocolate bars and I eat before I go into the meeting. Okay, cool. We have a root cause. It's this meetings with this particular person. All right. Why? Is it because they intimidate me? Is it because I find them a very negative person? What is the reason behind it? How do I then address it? Most people don't like conflict. Most people don't like facing up to hard emotions, whether it's fear, anxiety, anger. Because of that, we then bury them or distract from them. And actually what we need to do is trace it back and deal with that root cause, because that energy will continually manifest itself, whether it's binge eating, drinking, whatever it might be.
But you say that if you can identify it, but some people would maybe not be able to identify it. Maybe it's something that they've dealt with and lived with for so long that it's part of their norm, and they're not really aware of what's dragging them down or making them feel with this emotional sense, particularly those who suffer from anxiety. They may have the same feelings of anxiety over and over again, but may not know what causes it. And is that the important part, is being able to identify where that issue is before you can do anything else? It's not a case of, I won't go to the vending machine and get 3 chocolate bars, and I'll find out why first. That won't work. You have to identify it first. Yes.
So in order to heal anything, whether it's an emotion, a feeling, we have to be able to identify where it comes from. Now, you're right. For some people, that can be very difficult, which is why I suppose people like me exist, to help people work through that, to understand where the triggers, but more importantly, the root cause of the triggers is coming from. One step that people can take is simply, when they're reaching for something that is maybe not because they're hungry, ask themselves questions, almost put an automatic stop to their automatic reaction. So let's say we're working from home, we're just gone to the kitchen cupboard and we're reaching for the pick a mix. Okay, and we're reaching, and are we reaching to that from hunger? Probably not. So it's about taking actions to stop that and say, okay, why? Before I take it out, why am I doing it? Am I hungry? Yes or no? Yes, cool. Is it the right thing to eat? For me, if I'm hungry, no. All right, then why? What is the reason I'm reaching for it if I'm not hungry? Do I feel bored? How do I feel? Do I feel stressed? Do I feel upset? Start to ask themselves question, how do I feel? And then ask the question, okay, I feel, let's say it's bored. Where is that feeling coming from? Okay, it's coming from this particular topic I'm doing at work. Okay, is there another resolution to that? So if it's boredom, where is the boredom coming from? Is it coming from repetitiveness? Is it coming from dislike of the task? Where is it coming from? Okay, how can I distract myself or overcome that boredom in another way. If it was coming from stress, where is that stress coming from? And start to work back. So each time you're reaching for, whether it's the alcohol, whether it's the chocolates, whether it's the biscuits, whatever it is, before you actually take them out, just make a commitment to yourself that you'll ask yourself why. Why am I doing it? And
So
then
the questions then that you might ask yourself, I think that comes more down to a situation. You go to the kitchen, like you say, don't you reach up and you just, it's like an automatic reaction. You've done it before, so without even realizing it. So what would prompt someone to ask them those questions? What would be the thing? Is it somebody like yourself who would steer them in that direction? Would the I'll call them the perpetrator, for want of a better word. Would that perpetrator have to identify that they've got an issue first before reaching out and picking up the phone and go, "Here, Reed, I've got a problem with, can you help me with this?" How would they work it out themselves to go, "Oh, hang on a minute, yeah, this is not quite right. I need some help with this." So would that be the better way to think? Well, hang on, I do need some help with this, because I think there's a lot of people who won't go, I'm struggling here, I'm having a difficulty, what do I do? Is there anyone who can help me? A lot of people say, I can do this myself, I don't need any help, because they become stubborn in their ways. And that's counterproductive, is it not?
First of all, let's call them just the human being rather than perpetrator. Perpetrator sounds a little bit horrendously guilt-ridden there. Yes, can everybody... And it depends what you're doing. You said, can people do it themselves? Well, it depends what the it is.
Yeah.
So whether it's, if we've, for the purposes of ease, say it's lose weight, can everybody lose weight without the help of somebody else? Yes. The simple answer, everybody can lose weight because everybody knows what they should be doing. The problem in today's world is not a lack of information. We have this thing called Google. You can go on Google and type in diet plan, workout plan, and 100 million results will come up. The issue in today's world is implementation, not information. People know what they should do. No one needs a coach to say, maybe a banana rather than 4 donuts might be a better snack. I mean, that's not that's not what professionals are there for. It's helping people understand why the implementation isn't happening. Because if everybody's got the information, then why are people not implementing it? That comes from that root cause. That comes from mindset, emotion, habitual behaviors. Where did those things come from? And that's where we come in. Now, whether someone asks for help or not, a lot of people I know will be sat there going, I don't want to ask for help. I don't know where to go for help. I don't even know what help would look like.
Right.
And that's where it can get confusing. And it's maybe just taking the time to vibe. Everybody vibes with different people, and it's just looking at who you connect with. And coaching or training is a relationship, so you have to have a bit of a connection to have that relationship flourish. So it's about just going, right, who do I vibe with? Let's reach out.
Okay, all right. So if people were to reach out, how do they reach out to you in order to find out if they can gel or vibe with you?
So you can reach out on social media, on Facebook, Rita Trotter. I've got my website, thehealthandfitnesscoach.co.uk. You can email me, Rita, at thehealthandfitnesscoach.co.uk, or you can WhatsApp or message me on 077 69 69 0679.
Fantastic, Rita. Very enjoyable again and very informative. You have a great day. Enjoy the sun. Don't burn anything. And we'll speak to you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Take care.